My name is Fernando Bohorquez. I'm a litigation partner at Baker Hostetler in the New York office. My practice is generally commercial, bankruptcy, intellectual property litigation. I also help counsel social media and tech companies as well. I also am very engaged civically. One of the many hats I wear is being one of the leaders of the New York chapter of ACS. And interestingly enough, I got involved in ACS way back when I was an associate, because then when a partner, Jamie Orenstein, said, hey, I just came back from this great convention in DC, and they were dealing with all these issues that we've been talking about how we need to have a response to the Federalist Society, how we have to counter the conservative movement. And I just realized that there's an organization that's being structured to do just that. So Jamie then brought me into ACS, and eventually became involved in the chapter more and more, and eventually became part of leadership ranks. Jamie is now Judge Orenstein in the Eastern District. I routinely feed clerkship applications to Judge Orenstein, and he also speaks on panels. So I think that sort of is a microcosm of what ACS I think is about. You know, you reach back, you have mentors who reach back to younger attorneys, then become involved in ACS, whether as leaders, doing programs, or just helping other people within the network. Because to me, that's really one of the key values that I've drawn for ACS, is developing a network of like-minded progressive attorneys, judges, professors. That's really redounded to my benefit throughout my career. I've been to several conventions, and twofold, I think, are the two things that I value most from the conventions are, one, reconnecting with old friends and contacts. You know, people are busy. Lawyers, by definition, we have very little time to do much else but lawyer. So ACS gives you a chance to kind of take a step back and reconnect with old friends. And then also in the context of this sort of feast for the mind. You know, that's one of the other great things that I love about ACS events, and in particular the convention, because you get to hear such great speakers like Congressman Lewis and last night Senator Warren, that you rarely get an opportunity to see, and they're all sort of concentrated in this 48-hour period, that you have this sort of menu of issues and speakers that you don't really have a lot of opportunity to hear from, and at that level. Come to mind right now, but I think what ACS has helped is lend some credibility to a young lawyer as he's developing his practice. And if there's some advice I can impart to young lawyers who are now kind of developing their practice, is ACS is an opportunity, it's a vehicle to reach out to partners in your law firm, to reach out to professors that you think are doing great work. Because it's a calling card that you can say, hey, I'm with this organization, we're doing great things, we're covering great topics, and I'd like to organize a panel with you. And that's basically how we've run the New York chapter for years. So you have ACS behind you, and you can reach out to a senator, a congressman, the head of an LDF, and they'll take your call. And, you know, maybe they'll even show up for the program. So I think in terms of like getting involved and getting your name out there as somebody who can connect people, somebody who knows people, ACS has been very helpful in my career in that regard. Recently we had a panel on immigration reform with Congressman Hakeem Jeffries and Jeremy Robbins from Mayor Bloomberg's, he's special counsel to Mayor Bloomberg on immigration issues, and then various immigration advocates. And it was a real sort of hands-on discussion about the pending legislation before Congress on immigration reform from various perspectives, from the policy perspective, from the legal perspective, from the activist perspective. And it was just a real robust discussion about what is going on here in Washington, and having folks in New York actually hear that from folks who are involved in the debate. So I think that's one of the things that we do well in New York, is trying to take these issues from Washington that are happening on the Hill, bring them to New York so we can have a real hands-on talk about them.